Hello viewers, hello listeners, hello everyone. Thank you once again for joining me on Team Ups TV. Please don't forget to subscribe if you are coming here for the first time. If you're regular, just do the usual. Please like and comment and also share our video so that others may also see what we do here. Because what we do is we give you current affairs and we do so in real time. So yes, I just want to say thank you guys for the overwhelming support. Our channel is growing, and also for those who usually send me airtime and data here and there, just to say thank you guys. So the story that I have, the issue that I have is that of a certain Zanu PF member. I don't know if he is a former member, but I'm pretty much aware that he is still in the Zanu PF party, although he was recently sacked from the ministry. And the energy Mtodi is posted something that I think is something that is debatable to you. So I just want to bring up the story to you so that we can as well debate and see whether or not what he is actually saying is true. Mr. Mtodi is of the view that the present circumstances that Zanu PF is in is as a result of the crop of cabinet ministers that is currently there. I will quote what Mr. Mtodi actually said. Zanu PF will not be able to retain power with its current cabinet. President Mnangagwa is being called upon to take immediate and effective action to extricate the party from a humiliating defeat. So according to Energy Mtodi, the Rumbami, as many of you might know him, he is saying that President Mnangagwa and Zanu PF will be humiliated, and this is due to the cabinet that is this cabinet, of course, the cabinet that includes the Mutolingwes, the Soda Jemus, the Opamchinguris, etc., etc. So this is what he is actually saying, and this, guys, is stemming from a moment where in the recent days on another former member also hinted that there might be a cabinet reshuffle soon. I'll read what Honorable Kilas said. He said that, guys, ndadzoka ndine kanyaya zvinhu zvavakuda kunaka, 12 strong guys to be fired and soon more to come. Ministers who are sabotaging our president. Time yangurekwedzeka zvinhu zvako is now munozviziva mega. So he was actually hinting that a cabinet reshuffle is coming. So as you are all aware, usually when things happen in the government, they are leaked by some people, and then obviously some will come to like nourish the leak as if nothing is happening. But these are just some of the things that these guys are saying, and I have seen that when you're out of Zanu, you begin to think some level of rationality. So finally, this other post na Vamtode wachiti Nelson Chamisa is gaining popularity because the Zanu PF old guard is fighting its own young men and women. My passionate plea is for Zanu PF to embrace young people, take its new ideas, and remain in power beyond 2023. So that is just their wish. They are saying they must be embraced back to the ruling party. So this is what I then did. If what Mutodi is saying, I just want to look at some of the ministries, those that directly affect every day-to-day living of the people, and I just want to see whether or not what Mutodi is saying is true. So I have here the Minister of Transport, Minister Mona. A lot has happened, guys, in the transport sector. We have seen the monopolization of the transport, of the public transport system, and the introduction of the ZUPCO. I have said, and I'm on record as saying that ZUPCO was never a bad idea. It was a very, very good idea. Every government should provide public transport to its people, but to monopolize it was the bad idea. Do you know that the success of ZUPCO would have been better if everything was not monopolized, if it was just a free economy, free entry, anyone, that the citizens would have an option to whether go to ZUPCO or whether go to the private companies. You would see that they would all choose the ZUPCO because of so many reasons. But to do everything in a command manner, guys, I do think that was a problem. And I think they realized that. That's why they are just coming in to patch some of these policies. So true to what Mr. Mtodi is saying, I think there's a crisis in the transport industry, and I also visited the Ministry of Energy and Power Development ikohedwa now nasoda zvemu, of course after they sacked vafortune chassis. So what is happening nemagetsi edu anga achichemerwa. So far there was an outcry kuti they are too lowly priced that inogona so emanate into a crisis, but generally people are seeing some fair share of load shedding zvatanga. So ku energy uku vasoda zvemu vari kudzonzi there is a bit more room, especially due to the capacity of of Zimbabwe to make its own electricity, because we import some electricity. Saka there is more that can be done. And the Ministry of Finance, a lot of people are actually wondering whether or not it is the technocrat that is heading the Ministry of Finance. This can be Mutuli, hakuna mapolisi akadaro. But it all stems from the fact that almost all policies that happen in the finance ministry are politically motivated. They are politically motivated, if not corruptionally motivated. So there is a lot that needs to be done. And that is one thing for certain. Due to the policies, but in general, the oversight is people are not happy. Then ndabata futi kuni crisis ku Ministry of Health, of course uko akubatika, and even if a reshuffle comes in its fullest form, the president might be reluctant to shuffle the Ministry of Health. You know the reasons why. Akubatike kunava CDGN vachiwenga, and I have seen much strides the way to Ministry of Health, but for this wrong reasons. I think they had a set piece recently, a set piece like I said on our opposition, where he was saying that we need so and so, we need cancer machines, we need so and so. I think that it was just a penalty shootout. Guys, let's just do what this guy is saying. One or two or three cancer machines. We have got the capacity to do so, but just because Zakatawa Nemunu are opposition, it's not a point to be taken. So, as the president said, Pavakaisa Vachiwenga Vakatawa Kutuzoni, Varuda someone and a command. And I think this is all what is actually happening. This is just the command something. Local government at Chataure, Kawa July Moy, there are very much allocations, corruption, and it's a disaster. The local governance is a disaster. Wanauchema about Kraktor Kamarara, wanauchema about title deeds, etc., etc. Pane the recent scandal, yakanzi the 300 million years igogo futi kunonzi kuchiko ku local government yana pomona vani link nana delish guaya of the drug state. So those are some of the things that my ministries are not really doing much. And if you still remember, guys, when President Mnangagwa assumed power, he promised that there will be checks and balances on these ministers and to see whether or not they are working, and that they will be said. I think they were all going to be given 1 year at inception. I am pretty sure Tingadai Tisidagana cabinet ministers, because they are not doing much. The Ministry of Education is in tatters, especially the primary and secondary education. My teachers are complaining akuna mari. So it all boils down to the Ministry of Education faculty. If things don't go down to the welfare of our teachers, it comes down to our children who are currently in the primary level. And I think it also goes to the higher and tertiary. The education system in Zimbabwe is bleeding. So there is a lot more that needs to be done in terms of ministers. Of course, we might blame the president, but also the ministers complement the president. So the ministers are responsible for ministries. What the president does is just the signature and the implementation. So that is why you see there was a lot of success in the government of national unity, because a whole lot of ministers, we can take for example the Minister of Finance, then the Minister of ICT, then even the Minister of Education, then David Cottard, and a whole lot. They will complement complementing each other, vachita zvinhu zviri to the benefit of everyone. So Energy Mtodi thinks that a cabinet reshuffle will save Zanu PF. Do you think so too? Or the rot is in the whole system of Zanu PF? Anokuonikai Nimfaro Didwenyu Honorable Madiba. Please feel free to share your thoughts, and thank you once again for the support. I appreciate it.